Hello everyone, it is the Bronze Archer here. I've accidentally had to record this 3 times now. Didn't realise the first 2 times my mic was actually turned off. Whoops. And mine, this is get ready for the 2017 Haas career mode. What's going to happen is I'm basically going to run 100% races and full qualifying. That's the way I like to roll, and it's the way I've always rolled. So I'll shut up now and pass you on to my new agents.
Yes, and I respect that. But my client has a championship to contest. So if you want our participation, I'm afraid the concessions are mandatory. Yes, that's fine. Get back to me when you can. Goodbye. No one ever just signs the contract. Anyway, thanks for coming by on such short notice. I just needed to cover a couple of quick things with you before you race. Firstly, as requested, there's a copy of your contract. It's a rolling deal. However, the team reserves right of termination if you fail to meet performance standards. You're second driver for now, but work hard, hit your targets, and I'll be able to sweeten the deal. I'm also looking to get you into some invitational events throughout the season. The experience and exposure from these will be great for your image. Plus, you'll get to drive some nice historic cars. Now then, go get ready for the next session, and good luck.
Okay, that is our agent, Emma Jenkins, and now I'm going to introduce you to my new contract, which says all my stuff about me being second driver and stuff like that. And I'll just be having a little look around, seeing what's in the hospitality unit now, which is really quite cool. It's been redone since F1 2016, so that's really quite cool. And now let's actually just have a little more of a look. Actually, didn't realise how long I was just going to be looking about for. And that's just going to access our laptop. As I'm getting our introduction to the laptop with like where we can do all of our malarkey and stuff like that. And let's go to practice number 1. This should be quite interesting. I'm really looking forward to doing this. The way I'm going to do it though is I'm actually not going to record it. I'm just going to record the intros to practice. I'm not going to do the practice sessions itself because I don't really want to show it. I just rather would not, because I think I'd bore you probably to death and back. But what I've done is instead I'm going to run this little special thing where I actually will show a clip of me doing a lap in a classic F1 car, so I think you'd be quite interested in that. I'm just going to leave now, so see you in a minute.
Welcome to our viewers from around the globe. You join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. So Anthony, lots to do of course in these sessions, lots of programs to run. What are you looking for when you jump in the car for free practice?
Well, you have basic checks first of all. You know, is the car working correctly? What are the track conditions like? And you'll be chasing that as the session goes on. Things like that. Then you start getting into the nitty-gritty of it all, and they become more like test sessions where it's all about gathering new data, testing components, tweaking the setup and so on. So there's only so much actual practice that these drivers need. Most of them will be plenty familiar enough with the track layout, either from previous experience or from the simulator.
Let's go around the lap in the 1995 Ferrari, which Jean Alesi won his only ever F1 racing at Montreal in 1995, sorry. Bit of an idiot, don't worry about it. Going to turn 1, quite good turn, just have to make sure you don't hit too much of the curbing, otherwise you will go a little bit wide, like what I did. Also, you have to kind of use the exit curb there. If you don't, then it's alright, but it's more of an ideal line. Going to turn 3, I did lock up going in this car, but the intro of the car's got so much torque and power, so it's kind of hard to drive really. Going to turn 4 as well, pretty easily. Turn 5 you have to lift, otherwise the car will not make it through the turn, so it's just kind of a bit difficult to try and get a good run on with this car. As you complete the first set to go into turn 6, 7, then going through the long turn to turn 8. Flat out, obviously, like it is in the modern day cars. Not as hard to drive, and now going to turn 9. Go a little bit wide there, hits on the exit curb, and then going through turn 10 didn't really help either. Now I was going to go through a little bit of a arch back straight, much like what you find at Chicagoland in NASCAR. Now going through the chicane of turn 11 and turn 12, using all the curb on the exit as well. Now going down into turn 13. Very heavy braking point. This could be a great good stop for overtaking in the race on Sunday. We're going to turn 14. Pretty much second gear. Then turn 15, if you're ballsy enough, you probably can make an overtake on the inside here. We're going through the final turn now. And that's a lap of Albert Park in the 1995 McLaren, not McLaren, Ferrari, sorry, I'm kind of an idiot.
Ah, you got my message. Perfect. Welcome to home away from home. We get more real-time data from the factory now than ever before, and it all comes through here. So I have to spend more time checking over the reports and less time hunting you down in the hospitality suite. To that end, sorry, just a sec. Yeah, Chris, is this important? I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Right. Well, that makes no sense. Have Sarah reset the simulation and run it again. Okay. Sorry about that. As I was saying, we've set up a desk for you at the front here. You can get onto the network from your laptop, so make sure to check the R&D screen regularly. And let us know how you want to use the data that we've collected over the weekend and through the practice programs. Also, bear in mind that the news from the factory won't always be good. Sometimes tests fail, like you've seen just now. And when that happens, we have to divert additional resources to fix it. C'est la vie, I'm afraid.
Okay, as you can see there, we met our engineer Chris. Now we're getting an introduction to resource points, like we would do in the previous game, and I get over 2,000 resource points. 2,316 to be exact. Now I'm going to go into my laptop, and now we get introduced to the R&D tree. Vehicle management as well, that's for when we need to change our gearbox and engine and all that jazz. And now let's go into the view and R&D tree. Now what I went for was for the, obviously the durability upgrade, which will decrease wear by 10%. Then we're going to go for the powertrain. Obviously we're in a Ferrari engined car, we're not going to be as powerful as the guys in front, which is going to be a Mercedes. And that we went for the powertrain upgrade. And that's issue. And we did also go for, what I found was real big trouble was me with the rear end. I've restruggled during practice with the rear end, so I decided to go for rear downforce. So yeah, stuff. So now let's do what those do. It's obviously to help with the quality control of the upgrade. Now I'm going to confirm my upgrade for the engine, and that's pretty much it. But I did go later on for an upgrade to the thingy, to the downforce.
Guess who made the gossip columns this morning? Everyone's talking about this new rival you have. Check his stats out.
Now we're getting introduced to our new rival, which will obviously be Romain Grosjean, our teammate. And I did do qualifying, and start qualifying objective, which I did not pass. Our objective was to qualify 15th, and also beat Romain Grosjean. That did not happen. Sadly, I lost the recording though, but I did qualify last. I set an absolutely appalling lap time. I was 3 seconds slower than Vettel in Q1. But at this point, I had enough resource points to be able to buy the downforce upgrade. So we're all Gucci at that point. We all happy? We all Gucci? I just bought the. Don't know why I kept randomly clicking onto that. But now I just kept on pressing square to see what our. Oh, actually, never mind. Let's go to race.
I will be throughout this season by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and dare I say it, all-round top bloke as well. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, and it's gone and rained on us. I imagine that that's not especially helpful for the teams who are still trying to figure out, of course, what kind of performance they're all capable of.
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here. I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, in regards to the weather, you're absolutely right. You know, we've just come here off the back of testing. It's the first opportunity to really gauge where the reliability is, where the performance is, how you stack up against your competitors in the Grand Prix, and now it all has to be kind of put on hold for a bit. So now the question becomes, who can be adaptable? Who has the wet weather pace, and who can make best use of these difficult circumstances to come out on top in these conditions?
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen, Stroll, Massa, Perez and Roman Grosjean, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Daniel Kvyat and Palmer, Van Dorn, Alonso, Carlos Sainz and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and a Haas rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
As I'm about to start the race. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we're off and away we go. I get a kind of decent start though on Ericsson at the very beginning. The angels are just kind of doesn't seem to have the traction over the Ericsson at all. They're going down to turn 1. As I completely make a dive bomb up on the inside, go alongside Julian Palmer, they just about to get past them. As you can see, I do not run with proximity arrows either, so this is actually quite challenging for me to be able to get good overtakes done. So now again, the slipstream of Hulkenberg and Kvyat. Break up on the inside, go up alongside my teammate Roman Grosjean. We think we might actually tap, though we don't. As now we can see Massa and Perez going side by side. Will they decide to actually make a little bit of contact? No, they don't. It's going to return to 5 again. Riga run on Perez there. Alongside him we go. A little bit onto the grass, I guess. I don't really know. I can't really tell. As we got tapped by Perez, and now we lose it. We get Clyde. We hit our teammate, and then we get sideswiped from OCON, and we're out of the race with only within the first 3 turns. Let's have a little look. We're having a little look at the flashback to see actually what really happens. As you can clearly tell, I just decided to give up on it halfway through, and I decided to retire from the race. And now let's see the let's go on to see the podium celebrations for this very, very wet Grand Prix at Australia.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, they clearly have a car that comes alive in the kind of conditions we were dealing with today. It's a very balanced package in the wet, and what that means is that the drivers have confidence to attack. And having that confidence gets you on the power earlier, it lets you brake later, and can put you a long way up the road.
Well, this is it. This is where they all want to be. Here come the top 3 then, out onto the podium after a fascinating Grand Prix. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
I'm going to say Carlos Sainz. It was probably one of his best drives this season, and I was thoroughly impressed.
And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. Ferrari moved to the top of the table. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.
As you can tell, then it was not exactly a very good race for us. In mine, it was still better than probably what would have happened anyway. But at least Samson actually saw one plus side to it. Our gearbox then should be we should be able to last a little bit longer than what I would normally do. Probably one more extra race. So that's actually pretty good, really, if you think about it. So, although yeah, I did get completely wiped out on to the next parallel universe, but it was still well worth it. Now we're going to get introduced to Jonathan, the guy who owns the classic cars. As you can see, our rivalry, we're actually losing, but was surprised we did get taken out into turn 6. So that wasn't really fun. Also, team expectations not very good. So sorry about that, Haas, but got taken out. Now let's actually get introduced to our career score, and now let's meet Jonathan.
Indeed it is. And this is Jonathan. He's going to let you drive some of his cars.
Well, not quite my cars, per se. It's a mere detail. You know, I'd really rather be down there racing than myself, to be honest. I'm actually quite handy behind the wheel, but it's the downforce, those lateral Gs, you know? The old neck can't really handle it. So I need a pro. That's where you come in. We run in a bunch of events throughout the year. Time trials, races, all sorts. And I have it on good authority that you have the ability and temperament to do well in these. Make our business look good and, most importantly, bring the cars back in one piece. So consider this a formal invitation. I'll see you at the track.
Now, I'd just like to step into my office.
As you can see there, that's Jonathan, and we're now going to get invited to drive. Well, I chose the Renault 2006 Renault to do the challenge for today. I'm now going to hopefully not do as bad. I didn't really do that well. I did finish second though, and what was my third attempt, which I'm going to show, which is my best attempt. So I did 3 attempts. I'm going to do that with every single classic event, and whatever's my best attempt, I will show on this video, which is obviously my third one. This was my last actual attempt, and I came second. I didn't exactly complete it, but I was close, so you can hardly be mad at that. And so now let's just wait for this to load up, and I'll be right back in a minute.
It's time for a well-deserved rest from the championship for a classic exhibition event today. It's winner takes all, so who will emerge on top in this unique challenge?
Okay, our challenge result was supposed to be we were supposed to finish first at the Suzuka short layout, but as you can see here, we'll show this in a minute, we will have a staggered start. We don't all go at once, which is kind of good idea, really. Just means that like you won't get swamped immediately, like why the slow cars won't get absolutely wiped out to the next dimension. But it's kind of annoying because when I let go of the clutch, the car bogged down really, really badly. I didn't know why it did that, because it's got launch control, so it shouldn't really be doing that, but just decided this pretty much just faster than died, basically. And then as we go up, I'm gonna leave this pretty much all in. I'm just gonna pretty much interview it. What I found with this car though is that it's super planted to the ground. So as you can see there, I went a little bit too early for some of the turns there. And going up and up through the remodeled first sector actually. Swimming across, I did actually turn a little bit too early again. I didn't realise how tight it was going to be, so I just thought I could take it as much as I wanted, but that's not the case, clearly. And now we're going up, down, start, finish straight again. And going up into turn 1. Excuse me again. Going out to turn 2, and then going up the slopes, up through the remodeled, obviously first sector took a little bit too much of the turn again, but that's just me still trying to get used to the Renault. And now I'm about to overtake the 1992 Williams, which Nigel Mansell won his first championship in. Well, first and only championship, really, sorry. And now going through, cut the turn again, drop down to first, and this is the last lap. But is it just me, or would this be really quite good though, actually, if they actually went to the shortened layout Suzuka, like for like a Grand Prix event? It actually would be kind of cool to eventually just be like, just all about consistency and all about trying to get a good run out of the last turn coming down into here. Because it means like only a short track though, but it means like if you wanted to run like a full like 50 lap race, it will actually not take very long. And hopefully the racing will not be as like spread out. No mind to go through the last lap, go up on the inside of the 1998 McLaren, go up on the inside of the 95 Ferrari. As you can see there's the 1991 McLaren Honda right in front of us, but we don't quite get there, so sadly we do fail the challenge. But we did do pretty well though, considering. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, please, hit the like button. And if you thought my content is good enough, then please subscribe. Thank you, and Bronze Archer signing.